telling him if he's wasting time. Does he know if Tanisha, are you trying to help him and he's on his phone?
Yeah, I tell him, here's who you work, here's what you would out. And he acts like I'm wrong, and then
Get your wood out.
we tell him, and I have to tell him like over and over and over again.
And he sits on his phone and acts like he's ignoring you?
Yeah.
Alright, well, Mr. Wallace can address this, because it needs to be figured out. Let's let Mr. Wallace know, but not in front of Pierce, okay? I'm gonna take Pierce in that room and work with him. So if you wanna like pull Wallace outside and tell him what you just told me, that would be good.
Are you in wood shop one folks?
I hear boot, Samantha. That was a cute boot.
Yeah.
I'm not even finished.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a long.
Because he doesn't know
Where's your
what
foot?
all the specialties are doing.
Good.
Well,
That's crazy.
I don't know how about it.
Well, I'm glad that.
Pierce is a cute little kid.
He's really cool. But I just figured out last week, he was on my classroom time and I asked, and he told me that he was 12 years old. He's lying. Straight to my face. The whole year I thought he was 12.
When he
No.
12 a year.
He's 15.
That's impossible, you know.
That's what he
He's
said.
still smart.
He said, I'm 12. Don't I look 12? I said, Miss Savage, no, he's like, he's 15. He's not.
That boy do look 12 though.
He said, but don't I look 12? That's why I say I look 12. That's why I say I'm 12.
there's some like short ass freshmen, like 4'8" kind of people.
Yeah,
And he said he went to
Like, what the hell?
and he went to first grade at 2.
Yeah, I would take roles from this.
I don't remember freshmen being that good.
No, he's short.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm pretty much almost 18 and I'm a senior. So that's pretty normal.
You look like he's 17.
But I'm especially intelligent, so I think fighters are gonna be super easy.
Trevor's here, Tyson's here, Xavier's here, Tyler's here, Samantha's here, and
Hey,
Nico's here.
Peter.
What's good?
Hey, Peter, how old are you?
Hey, Miss Chris.
Hey, where do you go to
Just
that?
ignore us.
I think
What?
You're just take your stuff with you.
Can I go there?
No, you're waiting for me to go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
How can I do it?
You don't have to get anything out. I have a pencil.
Mr. Wallace.
You're a second.
There he is. Okay, here's where you go. Mr. Wallace, I took off.
They're playing with me.
Pierce and I are going there. Titanisha, right out.
Look.
To let you know a couple of things.
Oh, they really are playing with the Royals.
Yes, I want it.
Delicious. Oh.
Okay, Pierce, let's go now.
Make it us fail.
Yeah, okay. She just let me know a couple things that I wanted to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Pierce.
Hey, you guys, how y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Did you take roll already?
Yes, I do.
Thank you,
Sharp.
Chris.
Want to cut it?
Excuse me. Hey, you. I'm trying to talk to the class and you're all sitting there talking. Shut up, please. I ain't playing around today, guys. Okay.
Are you drinking this?
Oh, be quiet.
You said thank you. I feel like a fish.
That's really paying attention to you.
I think fish is good at this water.
I went from fish to a cat. Okay?
Did you eat that last night?
Did I eat cat last night?
What?
No.
This is Tuesday. They have something.
I have. Would you guys like to? Would anyone like to say what they had for dinner last night?
Oh,
Oh.
I had a smoked brisket. It was smoked with hardwood pellets for 15 hours.
That sounds so good.
It was like butter. Like I cut it with a fork and like I put it in my mouth and I didn't have to chew it. Like it's difficult to move in my mouth with my tongue to just fall apart. It was so
Your
good.
tongue fell apart.
No.
Did you rub it on your belly?
What the
I
fuck?
do that. I like to get meat that just falls apart and rub it on my belly.
That's
That's
disgusting.
just weird.
No, you guys don't do that. You should try that.
I've never
What were our parents parents think, Mr. Wallace?
All the fun.
What if you did that and all of a sudden your parents looked at each other and were like, all right, and they got up and started rubbing meat on their belly?
Oh my god, look guys.
What's that?
I say,
I can't believe you're doing that in front of
I
me.
think she's
And I'm
racist. That's why she's racist.
Compromise.
Why is that racist?
Because you're
That's inventive.
Yeah.
good chopsticks. It's already been invented.
No, that's a great idea. That's really
It's
cool.
cultural oppression, actually.
How is that
She's
cultural?
not here. She's not
How is she
here.
not
I'm
here?
joking. It's a joke, Wallace.
Oh.
I'm not joking.
Oh, who's arguing now? Oh, hey, do you like fruit? Yeah?
No,
How
I
do you
hate
like
fruit.
them
I
bananas?
hate fruit, Wallace.
Alright, anyone else wanna say what they had? So that sounds really good. So brisket that was smoked for 15 hours, wood pellets, was this from a place or was this?
No, we
at
made
home?
this.
You made it?
You made it?
Yeah, we have a Traeger.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It
This
is.
is from Mr.
Yeah, I was
Wallace?
over
Thank you.
Bring it
What was that,
back.
Ernesto?
It's huge. It's like a.
I can't
Is
hear
that
you.
on finals?
These two are speaking over you right now.
Yeah. Because he's saying.
Mr. Wallace, would you like to know what I
Punch
had?
you. Can I?
He was about to say, and then you'll be next.
Alright.
I had a pozole.
Pozole.
Yeah.
Why is it possible?
That sounds good.
Is that it?
Yeah. Obviously.
Did you have lemon with it or anything like that?
Yeah.
This, hello.
I need you for a couple seconds if you got it.
You got it. Hey, in the meantime,
Oh no.
take out your study notes, open up your books. We're gonna go, and I'm giving you the final today, so you can take home. No, you guys are still taking the
Can you
final.
stop him from doing that? I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I think
Simon, please stop him from doing that.
Shame him.
Well, that's a good thing. We can stay at home and then cheat. Stupid.
I'm all stupid.
Take it. Yeah, that's back there. But you can't put the whole, all the answers.
Or you just need to be smart. Which is obviously not true.
Oh, yes. You said you didn't like it.
What weird business. That's such a weird. It's like liking cheese nips.
What?
Yeah.
Where is it?
You don't know what cheese nips are? Yeah, they're generic cheeses. They're gross.
Chips. Cheese nipple.
They're bomb.
Chips.
I think we need to have a cheese nip holocaust. Just remove all the cheese nips from the world.
I think it's from a cardio.
I've never really liked nachos.
That was completely random.
Right,
Yeah, I guess. Nachos are good, so.
What depends, we like the homemade or like,
Denny's, they have the best nachos.
Oh, the Denny's by my house is trash, so I have good Denny's in here.
I haven't been to
I went to Denny's one time, and my family, it was like the first of the month. That's the worst thing you can do is go to house to eat on first. Because you know, you have to pay your bills and everything.
Everyone feels like they're rich.
Yeah, we spent $50 on all of our food. And then, all of a sudden, there's a roach like right by us. And then we got the whole food.
Yeah. You spent $50, that's a lot of money at Denny's. Yeah, it is. Denny's is like, and how many people? Is that 4 people? 3
Yeah.
people?
No, 5.
Oh, okay, yeah. The food's cheap there.
I was just like, Mom, let's just go to Denny's because we know we have to have roaches, so just bring a roach. Like, get that one food. Ooh, watch this game.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Whoa.
ooh.
Whoa. What? Ooh.
Oh, here's what she's talking about.
I know you can
Yeah, serious.
Seems like he's, what, 5'7", and
Yeah.
What's his name?
he's muscular.
That's
Kind
super
of
descriptive.
but he makes it almost like something in moment.
Jacob.
Jacob.
Is he white and he looks all pregnant?
No.
Right, okay.
Uh,
All right, so I'm gonna give you, yeah?
It's mine.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you have Pasole, was that it? You just wanna say that? Okay,
So yesterday we went to a brewery, there's a food truck, and I ordered chili cheese fries with carnitas.
from a, that sounds
And
good.
it was huge, and my parents shared it with me. It was really good. And it was only $10. It was like,
Which brewery was this?
it's called Thin Line, it's a new brewery.
Okay, where? Midtown,
Mm,
out in this
It's
area?
like, not near anything. It's in like the.
Not near anything, is it?
It's
in
not-
like
it's
a
not
Milky
really
Way
near
at least?
Great description.
Well, I'll like Google Map it in my phone.
Okay, Thin Line, never heard of it.
It's a really new brewery. There was like no one in there when we went in.
Oh, was that Ernesto?
Well, now you've heard of it.
That is true.
Oh, thank you, Captain Obvious.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else who would like to say what they had for dinner last night? No? Why don't you tell us? Please, I'd like to know.
I didn't really have anything because my grandma was sick, didn't make it.
You don't make food for yourself?
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I just wasn't hungry.
Oh, well, that's different.
Please.
If you didn't feel like making it and you weren't hungry, that I get, okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys the final,
Hang on.
and we will take it on,
Why do you hate it?
why do I hate you guys? Because I had a very, very screwed up childhood, and so now
Okay.
I'm going to take it out on you guys.
So
And
you're
that'll
blaming-
make me feel better, yes.
I think he didn't do a
You're
good
blaming us
job
for your childhood?
For a while outside.
It's my book.
So I want you guys to use your book. You can fill in the blank, so I wanna go through this. I would like you guys to know this stuff automatically. You know, that's because you're not gonna have open note tomorrow.
So this is the practice.
You don't have to.
This is the
You
final.
mean Wednesday?
Oh,
So you just said this is a final though.
it is the final, but you're not taking,
But we're
it.
studying
This
the
is your
final.
study guide. I'm giving you the final as
Oh.
a study guide. By the way, fourth period today. What do you normally have fourth period, Xavier?
Mr. Work.
Okay, you come here. You come here for the final, you come here for fourth period from now on. Okay? And we're gonna change your schedule up.
Damn. Mr. You okay?
No, I'm just dead.
Whoa.
Okay,
You say that Walls might like for you.
Right?
why?
Me?
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you make that noise?
Smack me.
What is it you want? You need me to hug you?
No.
Is that what you need? Then don't make that noise. Because you know that they have a saying in psychology, it's all behavior is communication. When people behave a certain way, they're communicating something. So when you guys do
He
something,
wants attention.
boom.
I'm not doing it to annoy us, but I'm doing it to feel good.
So you're not allowed
It feels good.
Yeah.
To make that noise, that feels me try.
Wait, you didn't snore?
Nope.
Mr. Walker.
So you're physically addicted to making noises.
If we ignore him, you probably stop talking, guys.
Did you know what physical addiction is?
That's gonna be impossible with him though, because he loves to argue. You are contrary as all get out. Okay, so let's, hey guys. Hi, where are you going? I haven't seen you, you look familiar. All right, so here we go. I want this to be automatic. If you want to write this, if you want to write this down, you're gonna
It's awesome.
you would like to ask here a question? Do you want to be asked questions by Ernesto? It's okay, I don't like having him ask me questions because sometimes they're kind of weird, yeah.
Did you get a chance to talk to Citation?
I have not.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna send Pierce back.
Okay,
We had to do it $40.
okay. I'll tell you what, Can we step outside and talk, and then you can ask your question? And in the meantime, look at the questions.
You want me to send him back or you want me to wait?
Oh, up to you.
You may want to.
After well, let me find out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Lady, or miss,
Yes.
did you go to, elementary school called, Charles Beth?
No.
Oh, you look familiar, that's why.
I worked at Arcade.
Okay,
Yeah. Middle school.
yeah,
Is that it?
yeah, but the other
Yeah,
ones
it's in
are kind
Hey, I'll tell you what, hey, Chris, could you send Pierce out here?
Sure.
I would love to talk to him.
Outside all the way through. There you go.
I'll tell you what, Ernesto, can you do me a favor? While I'm out here talking to Pierce and Tai Tai, would you please lead them to a review of this?
Please don't.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, Trevor.
Yes, please.
I just asked him to do me a favor, okay? Thank you.
First question is, how many members make up the California Assembly? Trevor, will you please answer this question?
No.
A lot.
3,847.
Alright.
Do you actually know the answer?
I don't know, like,
So we don't answer it, it's not.
No. I have it written down. I'm just watching it study.
I'm conducting the class. You know what?
I don't respect your authority, so I don't. That is very mean.
I got number. Tyler, do you know the answer? Do you know the first question?
I can try to find it.
Alright. Take your time.
80. That's the answer. The answer is actually 80.
Good for you, Trevor.
Huh?
Good for you.
After the next.
Thank you. Hey, that sounds like a excellent review, especially if you guys are communicating freaking telepathically. Jeez!
No, he's looking for the answer, Tyler.
For what question?
Number one.
Yeah.
I gave the answer, but you're
No,
refusing
no,
to
you didn't.
respect
Only
me.
F.
80.
No, you gave. Now
Trevor,
you give the answer.
Take a walk, please.
Yeah, take a walk.
Take a walk. Ernesto? Thank you, Trevor. Trevor, as you walk, Trevor, think about not yelling out in class and not being contrary. Have a nice walk. Ernesto, thank you. All right. Hey, back to this. How many members make up the California Assembly? So here's the deal. Tyler, you guys got a lot to study between now and Wednesday. Okay? I gave you guys the page numbers. I was hoping this would be automatic. Notice that not everything that you guys had to study is on the final. Okay? So this should be simplified for you. So since you don't know it automatically, that's fine. You don't have to look it up right now. You have your notes that has the page number, right? Okay. So you may want to look at page 689 to 70. All right? You do that when you study outside class. Ernesto, help them out. What's the answer to number one? 80. 80 members make up the assembly. Very good. Andrew, how many members make up the Senate? Here's a hint. It's not 80. Very good. Ty, you were right. Can you give me one qualification for an assembly member here in the state of California? What is one thing that qualifies them for running for the assembly? How about an age requirement?
18.
Thank you. Right now, I'm okay with you guys giving one another answers because I want you to have the right answer on your study plan. It is 18.
And illegal to vote.
So it's 18 and now there's a residency requirement. Nico, can you give me one residency requirement to run for the assembly? 3 years resident of the state of California. Andrew, can you give me a specific 1-year requirement concerning running for the assembly? And if you can't answer, Libby will be more than happy to answer it for you. What's that? I already did the age requirement, yes.
They have to be in the same district.
The same, you have to be a 1-year resident of the district you are running for prior to your election. Okay? Trevor, what is the minimum age requirement for the California Senate?
Governor free.
Okay? Thank you for not wasting our time. Devin, can you help me out? What is the minimum age requirement for the California Senate? 20? Nope.
25.
25.
I lied.
You just playing it? Okay, fair enough. An assembly member, Nico, in the state of California makes how much money? Somebody help him out.
175.
No, that is the governor of the state of California. I'll come back to that.
1,000.
Yell it out.
110.
110,000 and some change.
800.
Okay. What is the minimum age requirement to be the governor of the state of California, Andrew? How old do you have to be in order to run for governor?
25?
45?
No, 25.
25 years old, same as the Senate. List me 2 executive powers of the governor of California
Wait, is it, the age is 25?
for governor. What is the, what are 2 executive powers?
The basic principles of the money.
You're getting it confused with the Constitution. So this is an executive power. So as the chief executive of the state, the governor can do these things. Okay, there's a list of things that as executive, the governor can do.
The judicial or the
You know what that little brainiac's doing right now? He's looking up the age
Yeah, it's 18.
requirement for the state. Excellent!
I
Got
knew
you
I was right.
guys.
I wrote it
You know what? I
I
was
wrote it
doing
down.
that just for you. It's 18 for governor.
I wrote it down.
Now I have to freaking erase it. Thanks.
Well, you know what, guys? Let that be a lesson to you. Study your dang freaking notes. Okay? There's a couple of basic things you guys need to know. What are the age requirements? How much they make? Basic powers. I'm not asking you guys to list every single bit of minutia concerning that. But here are some basic things to know. Now, back to executive powers. What are they?
Appointment and removal.
Appointment and removal. Okay, well, what are we talking about? Appointment and removal of whom? Can the governor remove me as a teacher here in the state of California?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Why not? Because the governor doesn't have that power. Who are we talking about? Appointment, is he gonna remove the president?
Recall.
Appointment and removal of state legislators.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what's see, you're getting, now this is good. You guys have information floating about, but you're gonna have to rein this information in. Recall powers come from who? The governor? Go ahead, say it. What were you gonna say?
The people.
The people. They can do a recall. And let me ask you guys this. This will answer another question. Would the people do it through a referendum or an initiative? Now, before you answer this, you have to answer this question. Who initiates an initiative and who initiates a referendum? So if the people have recall power, would they recall through a referendum or an initiative? Xavier,
Yeah.
instead of trying to catch flies with your open mouth, why don't you answer that question? Boom! You like fruit?
No. Say no.
And you like them peaches?
Just say no when you ask me like fruit.
I've been mixing up apples with different fruit for the heck of it. Sorry, how you been? Oh, well, by the way, we're interrupting you about this. That was my fault. I get off topic easily.
Oh.
Xavier,
Yes, you
Yes.
do.
people, if the people initiate a recall, is it a referendum or an initiative?
Referendum.
Excellent, because who initiates initiatives, Ernesto? Now, wait a minute, think about what he just said, not the we're talking about California. Remember, the final covers California government.
I thought we weren't doing the final California government, you told us that.
What are you talking
And then you
about?
forgot, again, the other day.
I said, hold on, the powers of the governor.
You s-
The governor, not California government. I said the final is on California government. Ernesto,
What?
I'm trying to foster a relationship here, a friendship here. These two are just so like-minded. Are you guys going out? Are you guys gonna fight? Okay, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a draw. Hey, initiative is initiated by whom, Ernesto? If a referendum is from the people, who initiates an initiative?
The government?
We got so legislators, okay? So an assembly member, a senator, the governor, they can create an initiative. All right. Back to this. Let's go terms. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to go off script now. Hey, Andrew, assembly member's term lasts how many years? One term.
2 years.
Say again.
2 years.
Excellent job. Libby,
What?
what's the term limit for an assembly member?
I don't know.
You don't know? So I got a question for you guys. Why don't we do this? We're gonna go through all the answers here, and then I would like you guys to study this, because I have this feeling, if you don't have the answers on here, you're not gonna open your books and study. Okay? So, number one. Number one is what again?
80 members.
80. Number two is what?
40 members.
40. Number three is what?
18.
18 and
3 years.
3 years. Very good. Number four.
25.
Number five.
10,000.
110,000 plus. If you say 110, if you said 100,000, I would accept that. Okay? It's 110 as of the printing of this book. Number six.
18.
Number seven.
Appointment
And bring it
of removal.
Okay? Appointment and removal. Number eight.
It says list 2 executive powers.
Okay. So give me another.
I don't know the other ones.
You don't know any others? Can a governor make laws? What do you mean a governor can't make laws? And the governor, we just said a governor can't create an initiative?
Create a bill.
Isn't that what a law is?
No.
Is a law,
He
a law
can't
is
just, he
a
can't just
bill?
wake up and decide I want to make a law. He has to make a bill and then propose that bill. So it's
Isn't
not
that
just-
making a law?
No, because that implies that he is just gonna like, oh, I want this to be law. So, it's gonna be
So a governor has emergency powers, just like the president has emergency powers too. Okay? So, but in
The veto
initiating a bill, that bill can become a law.
yeah.
Okay? So he can initiate a bill, right?
Yeah.
And a bill can become a law. Isn't that a type of power?
Hang on.
For example, what was the most recent law that we talked about here in class that took effect as of November, I think it was November, the gas tax, initiated by the governor?
There's more recent one though.
There's more recent ones, like,
Like you can get like a elephant head and take it from Africa here.
That has nothing to do with it.
dude, don't tell us stuff like that. It just, that kind of stuff freaks me out.
I know it freaks me
All
out.
right.
So how come you say
I didn't know that.
That
Is that
was
real?
That was not the governor. That was the president.
As a president.
So that was a completely
We're
unrelated
talking
topic.
about. Well, so probably using executive powers to create an executive order. What is the governor's yearly salary?
175.
175, that's number 9. Sorry, I skipped number 8. Number 8. Samantha, you know number 8? Here's a hint.
6.
That's 6.
Hey,
4 years.
Jesus.
Hey, it's okay. Let's not judge.
yeah.
In Germany, this means 11. I just made that up.
Yes.
Term limits for the governor of California. Here's a hint, Devin. The governor can only serve 8 years if they serve their total number
Your
of
lead
terms.
time.
Number 9,
You already did that one.
175.
I didn't hear.
175,000. Thank you. It's gonna be like taking kindergarten. Somebody else. Make your fart noise. Term limits for a California governor? 2. Very good. How long does an assembly member's term last and how many term limits? It's 2 and 3. So a total of 6 years. Okay? But 2 and 3. 2-year term, 3 terms total. Okay, number 12. For the Senate, how long is the senatorial term? Don't get it confused with the congressional senatorial term. Because that's a different number.
8.
What's that?
I don't know, what was the question? I didn't even know.
So, same as 10, but list for California Senate, number 12. So how many terms, and what are the term limits?
4.
4 and, you actually just said it, very good, for a total of 8. 4-year term, 2 term limits. Could you please stop that? Thank you. True or false? Number 13. This is another power. Okay, this falls under judicial powers though, not executive powers. Number 13, can the governor of California pardon someone for a federal offense? True or false? Very good.
That was a question, and then you asked true or false. Can the California governor pardon somebody? So you should say the California governor can pardon somebody true or false, like turn on the paper.
You know, the problem with intelligent people is that they're smart asses. Okay, number 14, voters in California can remove the governor of California by a recall. Is this true or false, Ernesto?
True.
But can the governor pardon a felon?
Can the governor pardon a federal felon?
Yeah, that's what that.
So what's the answer?
I wasn't listening.
True.
If they're in this.
No,
I'd always false.
not a federal prisoner can pardon a state prisoner. The president can pardon a federal prisoner. Can pardon, I believe, any prisoner, actually.
Yeah.
The third house of the California legislature is actually the Senate. That's true, right, guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, excellent. It is false. Who is the third house of the California legislature?
No one.
That is not true.
Can you
Well, it's not actually true. It's actually technically no person.
So do you notice how I put the third house in quotation marks?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Obvious.
Lobbyists, very good. You even knew the answer to it. 14 is true. Okay, hey guys, study. You need to study. Okay, you guys have your numbers. This test, I'm going to give it to you on Wednesday. You're going to be getting the same sheet of paper, but it'll be blank. This is no notes, no open book. Study, yes.
Can I get the what do they call it, the tester?
The test early. So do you remember what I said in first period today when our principal asked us for? And how I'm going to honor that?
What did you say?
You weren't listening? That's okay.
He wasn't here.
Huh?
He wasn't here.
He wasn't here first period. Were you not here first period?
He was late.
Do you not remember the whole orange thing?
No, because you said it.
Hey,
You said that before he walked in.
Excuse me.
There are ladies in the classroom.
Nobody saw though.
No, but I did, and that's not the point. The point is, excuse me, but the point, you know the point, you know how to be a gentleman. Thank you. All right, so, listen, you guys are taking the final on Wednesday. So at the beginning of class, we'll do a quick review. I think it should be a quick final. You don't have to write a lot of things in. A lot of these are just numbers anyway.
Wait, so this is, I didn't have a final word.
He told you this is the final.
That's okay.
That's what he said.
I'm gonna hand this to you, but it's gonna be blank on Wednesday. So now you have the answers to the final today. And you guys, this should, it's the, hey Ryan, what class are you coming from?
History.
History, okay. And, you need to go back to history?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And, yeah, so you have this. It's gonna, now, question for you, Ernesto. Do you wanna take it here, or do you wanna take it in Ludwig's? You don't care? Better take it here then, unless, Mrs. Ludwig insists on it, okay? I won't make it an issue. You guys have questions about this? Would you guys like to continue doing, I know you guys are probably kind of burned out on it, would you like to continue doing your oral review, does it help you? Or would you like to study on your own quietly? You have a, I mean, I'm not just asking you specifically. Yeah, okay. If you want, now, so here's what I want, if you're not being part of the review, then be quiet. You can study on your own. You can put on headphones and study you may, okay? So, California Assembly members, how many make up the California Assembly? Tyler, okay? Tai, how many years does a term last for the Assembly? 1 term. So think of it this way, guys. Think of the Assembly as the lesser house, okay? And because of that they have shorter terms, fewer years of service, okay? The Senate is the next step up, and then the governor. So the numbers are going to be bigger when it comes to the governor and the Senate, okay? So the Assembly is 2 years. That's how long a term lasts. 3 terms total for a total of 6 years. Senate, 4 years, only 2 terms, but a total of 8 years of service. Governor, same thing as Senate, okay? I don't know if that simplifies it. Think of it this way. Governor and Senate are the same when it comes to terms. Assembly is different. So as long as you know what the Senate is, if you can remember the governor has the same terms and term limits, then you're fine. That'll simplify it for you, okay? Pay. Assembly and Senate, the pay is the same. Governor is going to get more, right? So whatever you guess, if you need to guess for the Assembly, pick more for the governor. So Assembly is 100,000. Well, it's 110. Governor is how much?
170,000.
Excellent. Okay. Some requirements, age requirements for the Assembly and the Senate. So, for whatever reason, Assembly and Governor are the same for age limit, 18. Governor, or Senate, 25. Okay? Okay? Good. 2 powers of the governor, 2 executive powers.
Paul says
He says what? Good?
Yeah.
Good. So he's channeling Mr. What's his name? Mr. Help me out. It's from South Park. Mr. Okay.
That's
Drunk
why
by
I
you.
don't watch it, that's why.
Are you jelly?
Yeah.
You need to go to jelly school. Mr. Mackey. You should watch it. I think you would like it. Why don't you think you would like
I
it?
don't know.
South Park is super appropriate.
It is really inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's hella funny.
It's really fun.
How old are those kids? What grade are they?
They're still in, I believe, the 4th grade.
Forever.
Forever.
That's how cartoons are, they just don't change.
What do you think the obvious?
The laws of time. So the internet's down.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, on Toy Story, this guy, you know how the Barbie and the Judy Barbie was seeing each other? And then she was like, she said, nice ass, Alex, or something like that. But it didn't make sense because Barbie's name is not Alex.
It's Ken.
Yeah.
That was completely random.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hey, do you guys want to talk about government? How about this? This is our last since let's have a last SID about government. Would you guys like to do that? Let's talk about it. What do you guys want to talk about? Throw it out there. Questions?
Government sucks.
Government sucks, okay? You have that opinion?
Joke.
So can we have like constructive discussion about it? Do you?
Just
No?
plenty of governments that don't suck.
Like communist governments.
Okay, let's go back to a review of final.
I think we should convert our government to a communist style.
Why?
Because
Like China.
No, are you being serious right now? Or are you just trying to
I'm
be
not even close to
provocative? I kind of figured that.
People will be scared of us.
People aren't scared of us now.
All right, why don't you guys just silently review? Obviously, this is going nowhere. I'm just going to have one person who's provocative and another who's going to respond to it. Ernesto waiting to jump in at some point to say whatever.
How
Got
come they're good
freaking
at cheese
Nico
on-
hiding behind his backpack over there.
Military power.
And Nico.
Military power. Oh, do you want to discuss military power?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, you're just saying it randomly?
You asked for an executive power of the government.
How long ago did you ask for that now?
I know, right?
I'll be like,
That like 20 minutes ago.
So, for example, the governor can call in whom, Tyler?
Yeah.
Can he call in the U.S. Army?
probably.
Well, he could request it. But when we're talking about the military power of the governor of the state of California, we're talking about whom?
That's great.
Talking about the National Guard.
Huh?
We call in the National Guard.
I said that too.
Times like when?
National disasters, natural disasters, emergencies, civil unrest.
What? You still want to discuss aliens, don't you?
No.
You guys are talking about aliens?
I was never talking about aliens. My class wasn't. Christian.
There was a clip on the news this morning taken from a military jet. It's following some dark-looking object. It looked like a shadow to me. But the news
Was it
said
perhaps a piece of dirt on the lens?
UFO. No, and he was talking to his squadron leader, and he said there's a whole squadron of them. He said, "Do you see this? There's a whole squadron." So I don't know what it was, but
Piece of dirt on the
and
lens.
Nick saw it on another channel. So
It's always
I think if it was aliens and they wanted to do something to us, they would have already.
why would they want to do something to us?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But why are they so elusive? They really are.
Because maybe they're not real.
That's exactly right.
Maybe they like to play hide and go seek too. Yeah, peekaboo! I'm a little alien. Look at me. Ooh, now you can't see me. You never know.
I think that might not be true.
You don't think that they have a sense of humor or a sense of play? You think we're the only ones in the universe?
No, I think
Well,
for
the sense
hundreds
of
of
humor,
years,
sense
like
of play.
peekaboo was a little excessive. About 100 years probably.
Maybe it's alien peekaboo.
Yes, Wallace.
Well, we can only understand them in terms of our own perspective, right?
Only if you have a narrow perspective.
What's that?
Only if you have a narrow perspective.
No, but it would still be, okay, listen, smart ass. It'd still be your perspective. You can only understand them in the context of your own experience with reality.
Right, what's that called again?
Anthropomorphizing.
Anthropomorphism. There you go. That invented word. Who invented that word?
Probably anthropologists.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I think it came from the study of anthropology, right? You could, like, the language that you use to describe, define things are based on your experience as a
Right.
human being. So the problem with anthropomorphizing is if you leave that realm of objectivity and then start making value judgments about how something behaves, why it behaves. You can see something and say it behaves this way. That's not being anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic is assigning it's behaving this way because it's mad or it's being aggressive. What does aggressive mean to us? What is being mad?
So that means that we aren't good enough to judge when an animal or something is being aggressive, and we can tell because it's in fear, or.
Well, I think that everything
Fight
is
code?
theoretical. I think that it behaves this way, but to assume that this is why it's behaving that way. Like think of it this way, okay? There is let's take fight or flight. That is a natural response. That is a chemical mechanism. That is a rush of adrenaline, okay? Some people fly or fight, but their assumptions about why they need to are wrong. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but like with
Okay.
an animal.
Wait,
Right.
why would you think those assumptions are wrong?
No, I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying there have been people before, like for example, let's say I walk into a room and I walk up to Tyler and I said, "What's up, Tyler? Let's go."
Yeah.
And you think that I'm fighting and all of a sudden you jump up to defend him. You're responding, there's a natural response that you're responding to based on the stimuli that you're getting. But the context, hold on, let me finish. You asked a question. The context, you don't understand the context. Now, if I told you, "Oh, no, dude, it's cool. I was joking," you would say, "Oh, okay." And then all of a sudden your adrenaline level would, I don't know how quickly it would drop.
But that's a natural instinct, but with animals,
It's a natural
because of the
instinct.
onset of a predator
Can I say something?
is what causes that instinct to happen.
Okay, but you're not, but when you say
So
like,
you know, like when a horse acts a certain way to a certain stimulus, you know it's that mechanism
Mhm.
working. So is that anthropomorphizing? No.
I
Okay.
just said, that's an observation of, the danger comes from assigning human emotion to the
Oh.
behavior.
Okay.
That's what they're talking
Different
about.
than natural instinct.
So like David Foster Wallace, when he writes about Consider the Lobster, right? And in Consider the Lobster, he writes about how a lobster behaves to be placed in boiling water. So the question is, as a human being, is it your moral obligation to not torture another living thing? Okay? So then what some people say is, when he bases his argument on the Maine Lobster Fest, the Maine Lobster Council puts out a piece of writing that says lobsters can't feel pain. They don't experience things the way humans do. His point is, well, that's really fuzzy logic. Because how do you know how a lobster feels, so like whether or not emotionally it's reacting the way we would react to pain? Because we don't share a common language. A lobster can't explain it to you. So you shouldn't be making that statement probably. The other thing is then, in the absence of language, of verbal language, let's look at behavior. When you put a lobster into boiling water and it's live, it tries to get out. So what he says is, so maybe what it is behavior shows a preference. And if something would prefer to be treated a certain way, then maybe we have a moral obligation to respect it. Maybe. He doesn't say we do. He says should, and what he says is, so ethicists would agree that we should consider how we treat another living thing. Other people might not. So in the debate over it, and then he says, so like most people, so that's why I typically, when I have this discussion with my college class, I said, hey, do any of you pour salt on snails? And then they all kind of laugh at me. They go, well, yeah, when I was a kid. And I said, but would you do it now? Well, no. Why not? Well, that's screwed up. Right. It's a snail, right? So we get this conversation going about treating something a certain way. Okay. With this in mind, is it okay to boil lobster? Well, yeah. I mean, it's, best way to eat it, fresh right out of the thing. Okay. Is it different from pouring salt on a snail? Oh, well, we're not eating it. And I said, okay, but you're still torturing. I mean, is it torture? Like the one thing is torture. This is torture too. Does it matter whether you eat it or not?
I think it does.
To torture. So then like PETA and these groups show like meat packing plants, how cows are treated prior to being slaughtered. There's some really damaging video out there. Should animals be treated this way? Is it wrong to? And so that's where the whole debate comes in. Okay. But that's what anthropomorphism is, assigning human values. Not observation, but human values to things that we don't really understand. We think we understand. And you know what? People might be right. Like you might say a dog is really happy to see you. And it might be really happy. But how do you know what a dog really feels if it can't explain to you how it feels?
My dog talks to me.
You assume it does. Are your assumptions correct?
Well, as we talked about the example of Tyler, fight or flight's a purely self-preservational instinct, so it's to other people. It's just a basic human decision. Fight or flight's like waiting in the moment with the rest of
is
the
not torture very often.
self-preservation.
Look at,
That's a great picture.
isn't that
That's a cool
the
picture.
sun? This was when the north wind was going.
That's a beautiful picture.
I think I'm gonna blow it up and frame it. I
You know what
took
you
that.
should do? That should be a stained glass.
It could be. It could be. It could be.
Welcome back, stranger.
Well, hi, Gianni.
Did you just arrive?
No,
Were you sent from a class?
yeah,
For a good reason?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
From,
I'm sorry, was I talking to you?
I don't think so.
Or were you responding when I was talking to her?
So it's fine.
It's funny?
Just the conversation was funny to you. I found no humor. It's just funny.
Be careful with that. Some people might not like it. And then that will lead to acrimony, which could lead to conflict.
Leave your ass naked. Black and
Trevor,
Yes, Wallace?
would you be quiet? I'm trying to talk to him. Thank you. Good. Do you understand what I'm saying though? You get into a habit of doing that. Like at work, it could get you fired. In a class, it might get you punched. In a relationship, someone might not like that.
They don't know.
If they don't know better,
We're supposed to know not to do that.
so you know when to shut it off. Did you know not to do that? Do you know, Ani?
No.
So do you know she is the kind of person who would appreciate you like kind of mimicking her responses to me?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Do you know that?
No.
Don't you think you're kind of taking a chance with that?
Yeah.
So be careful with that. I'm just trying to...
I always take chances.
Like, I don't go around following people and listen in on their conversations and sit there and go, and like imitate them. Like, I imagine I get my butt whooped. Probably get yelled at. Plus, just out of respect for their own, like, space. Right? And like a teacher, you think all your teachers like hearing somebody else, like, echo the response of another student? Some things to think about, right?
Okay.
We call that tylepomorphism, where he assigns his own values
Yeah.
and opinions on others, assuming that they think the same way that he does. Everyone thinks the same way.
That was sarcasm. Sir Wallace.
See, I never know with you when it's sarcasm or when it's your actual response. That's the beauty of it, huh? That's a great piece of writing. Have you guys read A Modest Proposal?
Honestly, I think I would make it regular.
You?
Yo.
That's a good thing.
You know what? I don't see why, I'm gonna be really honest. You ready for this? I don't see why you couldn't be if that's something you really wanted to be.
No, I don't think I will do yet.
I think your writing and your thinking are strong enough too.
My writing's whack. But I don't know, like, I feel like I can talk somebody out and get in trouble or like out of jail.
Okay, just because you can talk your way out of jail doesn't mean.
Have you ever talked you out of jail? Yes, how do you know that?
Mind your business, Trevor, get it
This is a
Oh, see, that's
this
a
is-
good lawyerly
This is
thing.
SID. This is a class conversation. This is my business.
No, this is a personal conversation
Did
between
I
you
say
two.
Trevor?
You're having SID.
Okay, quickly, hey, what Supreme Court case, since you're talking about getting arrested, led to the Miranda rights?
A Miranda case.
There you
Miranda
go.
versus the-
I was lobbing up a softball.
Arizona.
Miranda versus Arizona, very good. Hi, Devin.
Did Miranda kill people?
No.
Kill 3 people.
Uh-uh.
Was he accused of killing like 3
He
people?
was accused of raping someone.
Oh, that's even worse.
How's the studying going, Libby? Don't see you studying your notes, don't you think? I mean, I just gave you guys, don't you think you guys should be studying? In what little time you guys have left?
I can study at home. I have one at home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then I have tomorrow to study too.
Honestly, this one, you know, it sounds like a great idea. You should call her parents.
Oh, dude,
Can you not?
I bet if I called your dad right now, I know what he'd say to him. Oh, really? That's what he would say.
That's so white.
Oh, sorry. It's alright.
And then your mom would say, oh, okay, thank you, Mr. Off. Thank you for that information. As soon as you go, what the F is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is the book place open?
Is the book place open? I don't know. Go check.
Okay, well, I don't think we have much time.
I would return your books right now, if you want,
Why?
because you don't need them again. Your American government books.
I also have another book.
Unless you want to wait until next semester and then you can turn them in and pick up your econ book at the same time.
I'd rather do that.
That's up to you.
That is harassment.
Hey, Chris,
You know what, Tyler? Did you need to go to the book room?
Yeah.
Would you go to Ramona and ask her, would she rather, could you just run over there right now and ask her if she would rather us turn in our American government books before the end of the semester or turn them in when they're ready to pick up econ books? Could you do that? Thank you. Class isn't over.
It pretty much is, Mr. Holmes.
You know what, Libby?
You know what, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, throw hands.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
was that, is that a spoon holder or a spoon?
This is true.
Okay,
I just emailed.
because it's perfect for tapioca. Make some tapioca. But I was thinking, we have a real problem with soup.
If it's like a big chunky,
She doesn't get back to me.
chunky
Sure.
stew.
Ernesto, don't block the door. Please. Xavier, get away from the door.
Do I have to get away from the door?
Yeah.
No, the ladies can stand in front of the door, that's fine.
Bro,
That's-
that
I
is
know, isn't it
sexist.
If you want sunlight, you can stand in the sun. Just don't block the doors, all I ask. What? Where you been? No, I'm not gonna ask you that.
Sick.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Oh, the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I get sick and I cough too much, I can talk to
What'd she say?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
She said like,
I asked you two questions to find out if she wants to turn in now or to wait until they get their econ.
turn it down.
Turn them in now? You guys want to turn in your books? Go do it.
Are you not
I can go turn in my book too.
For American government?
No, I had to English.
I don't know which one to get, so.
Go turn in your American government books, Nico. Ernesto, do you have your book? Show it to me. Show it to me. Show me your book. Take it. That was for lazy. Why are you guys standing there? You guys are like trees. You want me to cut you guys down?
Oh, you don't want to mess with Devin just water.
I know.
Yeah, Devin's a biker.
He's a what?
He's a biker.
I thought you said advisor.
Something like that.
Hey, can I have Miss Ludwig? Miss Ludwig?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh wow, it's 2 minutes.
Look, see if it's there. Or next week.
God willing. We're getting Nick here this work period. Does he have to, is he all done with testing?
Got one, you can do it. Paulus is third.
Are you guys are doing CBIs next week, are you?
Tomorrow we're gonna be in this class second period for an hour.
Oh, right.
Honest here.
Paulus?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a warm up quiz.
Yeah, I wanna,
Oh, I gotta get that.
I have it. So if this one lets you come back, hey, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it now.
No, because I don't have, I was absent for a few weeks, so I don't have one.
Well, it's only worth a few points, so don't stress out, okay?
You have such a pleasant smile. Thank you. Brightens my day. Talking to you. Well, you think I'm talking to one of them? I don't know. How would I tell them? That'd be kind of weird.
You are.
Did you say bless you to me? I thought you did. I thought you said bless you.
The voice from beyond.
My eyes itch. Scratch. So want to scratch. So want to scratch. What's up?
What's up?
What's
I'm
up?
great.
Rain? I remember meeting you before. Mr.
Yeah,
Wallace,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we just kept walking back.
You get one.
Yeah. That was weird.
Rain, what's your last name?
Bob Austin?
Is it Samoan?
Yeah, that's one.
Are you really?
Get out while you can.
I like the name Rain.
So, the bell.
What about it?
It's never gonna rain.
What about it?
Never.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Keep it at that. What's up, Tyler? Huh?
There's a little black stuff.
Hey, don't forget about your
Well,
phone.
then why are you banging it on the wall if there's little thing,
Hey,
you know?
don't forget about your phone.
I know.
So, the days that
Oh,
I
it
have this
smells
class
bad.
and board, Wednesday, right?
When, tomorrow, first and second.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
it.
but on Wednesday,
Wednesday's third and fourth.
so I'm just gonna be here.
Yeah, where do you have third?
Oh, wait,
Saturday.
yeah, Savage, but I'm
Fourth,
gonna be
you
here.
have Hell City here. But I have time to help you.
Peace out, guys.
Just ask for